All right, so here's how this is going to work. Some of you, if you look down on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that your test or quiz has a code with the letter A, and some of you have a code with the letter B. Okay? So guys, you got to stay with me, otherwise we're not going to be able to get through our worksheet and you'll have homework. I don't want that. We got to get going, okay? So, we're going to go over the A quiz first. However, if you took the B quiz, I still want you to copy down all of the A quiz work, okay? Especially if you didn't get the score that you would like, because these are all questions that may reappear on the test in a couple weeks. Okay, so make sure you're taking notes on all of our material that we're going over, not just the quiz that you took, all right?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so
if we took quiz A.
it's on the bottom. It's okay. You got A or B on the very bottom.
Different tests?
Yeah.
Did different questions?
Yeah, they're different questions, but it's the exact same concept. So, let's go through quiz A first. So if you have quiz A, make sure you're following along with your work so you know what you did right and what you did wrong. Okay? Guys, what's that? No, you don't have to write it in pen. You can write it in pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Can we find a new page?
Yeah, so this is just like notes. So right after 2.1D, go ahead and start this. Yeah, Jordan?
What score is a 4 out of 5?
What do you mean by that?
Like, what's the score for 4 out of 5?
Like, what's the percentage?
Yeah.
You would multiply 4 by 20, so 80%.
Hooray!
Good job. All right, quiz A, number 1 was 7 to the 0th. Okay, and as we know, anything... Max, put that away. As we know, anything to the power of 0 is equal to what, everybody?
1.
1. Thank you. 1. Okay, number 2. Okay, let's limit the number of distractions, please, so we can get through this. Like I said, I want to have enough time to get the worksheet done. But if I have to keep stopping during this, we're not going to get there. So 5 to the negative 6. Whenever we have something to the negative power, we make it a fraction over 1. Flip it so that we now have 1 over 5 to the negative 6. And after we flip the fraction, then we can make our exponent positive. 1 over 5 to the 6th, which was answer C. And then number 1, the answer was B. Yes, sir?
How long is the notes going to take?
Don't know. Number 3. X to the 5th times x to the negative 2. Real quick, what rule are we going to use here with this problem? Quotient rule is very close. Quotient would be if we're dividing. That's right. This is going to be the product rule. Remember, product is the result of multiplication. So when you're multiplying bases, we're going to use the product rule. And the product rule states that we're just going to add up our exponents. 5 plus negative 2. It's important to put this plus in there just so you don't get confused with the signs. But as we know, a plus next to a minus forms a negative or a minus. Either one works. So 5 plus negative 2 is the same as 5 minus 2, and that's x to the 3rd power, which is answer B. So if you got A, you probably multiplied them. If you got C, you probably subtracted them. Or, no, if you got D, you probably subtracted them. If you got C, I don't know how you got C, but it's okay. Number 4, 10 to the 4th over 10. A lot of people just wrote, oh, boom, the answer is 10 to the 4th. Not the case. We got 4 10s on top and how many 10s on bottom? 1, right?
I used the bathroom.
Okay, go ahead. So we got an exponent of 1 on the bottom. Now we're going to use the quotient rule because we're dividing our like bases. And that means we're going to subtract our exponents downward. 4 minus 1, giving us 10 to the third, which is answer D. And I bubbled in red which one was correct on your quiz, so you know. Finally, let's go to number 5, and then we'll switch over to quiz B. Number 5, a little bit challenging. Two squared times 2 to the negative 1 over 2 to the 4th. So our first step here is going to be to use the product rule in the top because we're multiplying like bases, right? 2 to the 2 plus negative 1 over 2 to the 4. We're going to leave our denominator the same, not do anything with it. This is the same as 2 minus 1, which is just 1. Right? Now we've essentially got a reverse of question 4. We had 10 to the 4th over 10 to the 1. Well, now we got 2 to the 1 over 2 to the 4th. What's that going to simplify to? Well, if we can cancel a 2 from the top and 1 from the bottom, or let's just do the quotient rule, subtracting downward. 1 minus 4 gives us 2 to the negative third, which if you got to that point and you would see, oh, there's not an option for 2 to the negative third, that's because we had to make it positive. That's answer A for number 5. Questions on quiz A from anybody out there? Give me a thumbs up if you now, after going through this, realize where your mistakes happened on your quiz on Friday. Give me a thumbs up if you now see your mistakes. Awesome, that's good. Good. I'll give you guys a second to finish writing, and then we'll take a look at quiz B. So again, if you took quiz A, I still want you to take notes on quiz B. It can't hurt to get more information. Quiz B, let's go. Number 1, 2 to the negative 4. Again, to solve a negative exponent and make it positive, we've got to put our base over 1, flip our fraction, and then make our exponent positive. One over 2 to the 4th, answer B. Number 2, nice and simple, 10 to the 0th power. Anything to the 0th power is equal to what?
0.
Close. 1, there we go, 1. It's easy to get confused on that. A lot of times you see that 0 exponent and you go, oh, this must equal 0. Super close, but it's just something you got to memorize. Anything to the 0th power is equal to 1, and that's option C. Number 3, x to the 6th over x. Kind of like number 4 on quiz A. Again, the key thing about this problem, just like on quiz A, is that we have to remember this lonesome x over here has an exponent of 1. So when we use the quotient rule, we can subtract 1 from 6, giving us x to the 5th. Option B. Questions on number 3? Number 4, 10 to the negative 4 times 10 to the positive 2. Anyone know what rule we're going to use here with this one? Product. That's right, we're multiplying here. So we're going to use the product rule in which we add our exponents together. Negative 4 plus 2 gives us negative 2. Not the same as negative 10 squared, right? Like option B. 10 to the negative 2 again needs to be flipped around and made positive. 1 over 10 squared is option C. And I'll add in number 5 here. Three to the third times 3 to the negative 1 over 3 to the 5th. Again, we're going to start with the product rule on the top. 3 to the 3 plus negative 1 over 3 to the 5th. Plus next to a minus forms a minus. That gives us 3 squared over 3 to the 5th. Okay, once we get here, we're going to use the quotient rule again. 2 minus 5, subtracting downwards always, giving us 3 to the negative 3. Which then gives us 1 over 3 to the third, which is option D. Trying to get all of this in there. There we go. So there's all quiz B in purple. What questions can I answer about quiz B? No, you got a question? Okay, when Kenny comes back.